Jesse. Jesse.
Okay, you're live.
Hi, Jesse. Hi, what's up, man?
Hello, folks. Your weekly selectmen's meeting. We have a little different setup today, so
Okay.
if you can't hear us,
And see it.
someone could...
Mark Fisher.
If you can't hear me, how can I ask you to give me a call?
Well, if we don't get a response.
Okay.
Well, maybe if we'll hold a big sign up in front of the board that says, if you can't hear, call.
Or see.
Jesse will be getting here until 4:30.
Okay.
All right. We'll start with our town clerk, who is patiently waiting.
Okay.
Danielle?
Just to update a little bit on what's going on in our office, we are still working with Trio. It's very time consuming to get a hold of someone, get some help on different issues. It usually takes a few hours. So we're still working towards that. It's very frustrating, but hopefully we'll get there by next week. We have 5 lien discharges this week, which is great.
Excellent.
We are currently at 11 properties in pending foreclosure, and those will be processed March 7th. So we did make quite a bit of headway this week. They did ask me just to kind of recap the activities at the town hall. Jen sent out an email. She is averaging 28 people for the Monday morning coffees, 20 people from Parsonsfield, 4 to 5 people from Porter, 2 from Baldwin, 1 from South Hiram, and 2 from Cornish. She says every Monday there's at least 1 new attendee, and it seems like everybody is really having a good time. Pickleball on Thursdays averages about 10 players in the morning and 13 in the afternoon, and the numbers keep growing. She says that they have a sign-up sheet, but so far time on the court has been manageable, so I guess that's going well. Next Wednesday is the next monthly community cafe. Sabin from Carriage House will be preparing the food again. The menu is on our website, and they do ask that you RSVP by this Friday for the next Wednesday community cafe. We did receive a request on our side. Missy Jordan from Sockview Valley Rec has requested to see if the gym would be available to make up 2 of her basketball practices for kindergarten level. She had to cancel 2 practices due to weather, and now it's just a fight for gym space. So she asked if we had basketball nets. I said we did, and she asked if she could make up 2 of those practices here. And she said she'd be willing to do it while we were here so no one had to open the building. So I just wanted to pass that along. She was looking to do it as soon as possible. They were supposed to be done by February vacation, which is next week, but she said she is flexible, so.
When is February vacation?
Next week.
So that's the
It's right there.
20th
President's Day is the 20th.
the 20th?
Yeah, the week
yeah.
of the
Through the 25th?
20th.
So is she looking to do it during vacation week or no?
They're supposed to be done by vacation week, but she says just because of the situation, it can be flexible, so
Okay.
she just wanted to ask. They're just looking to make up the 2 practices
Yeah.
somehow, some way.
How long are the practices?
I can ask,
An hour?
probably.
Yeah.
I guess I don't have any problem. The only issue right now is the generator hookup, and I'm waiting to hear when that's going to happen. It's possible that that'll be a day of the week that we're open, and we would have to not open because of that, because we're going to have to shut power off. I'm hoping it'll be on a Friday, but I don't want to keep delaying it, waiting for a Friday.
Weren't we scheduled for this Friday, I thought?
We were scheduled for last Friday, but didn't we talk about this? The setup outside is completely
Right, but then I
different
thought
than
it
what
got
the
postponed to
electric.
this Friday.
No, it hasn't. It's been postponed.
Oh,
That'd be great if it was this Friday, but I emailed PowerPoint, and they spoke with the electrician, and he said he hasn't heard back from CMP yet, so unlikely that it'll be this Friday.
That's too bad.
So folks, keep your eyes open on Facebook and the web page, and if we have enough time, we'll put it in the shopping guide, but there may be a day that we have to shut down to get the generator hooked up. We'll let you know.
Is this a school?
Saucony Valley Rec, yep.
Well,
Yep.
Saucony Valley Rec is not school.
I didn't say it was.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. But I thought you said yes to her question.
Should
It's
she be
not school.
charged?
I wouldn't even charge them. I mean, why?
Okay.
Yeah, again, the only issue is ongoing things that we have and this possibility of a shutdown.
Okay, so how do you want me to respond to her, not respond?
Could they check how much, well, it all depends how much lead time she needs.
Yep.
We
We'll
have
certainly
someone
support
coming
the
in.
program if the timing works out.
Okay. You want me to ask her for some dates that might work for her and see if it's available?
Yeah, what do we have? We don't have anything, well, you can't do it Monday and Thursday, well,
You can do it Monday afternoon,
Yep,
Tuesdays,
here we go.
any Wednesday except the 4th Wednesday, which is next Wednesday. And then Thursday's out because they have pickleball all day.
Okay, I'll get back to her and I'll copy you guys on it.
Okay.
thank you.
I did want to touch a little bit on last Friday. There was a concern that if we weren't open, to touch base with Mellons and the bus company to see if there was any issues. So I did do that last Friday. First thing in the morning, I touched base with Mellons and the bus company, and as you know, there were some major issues. I did forward those guys, that information to you guys, so I think you received that all in a packet for your 4:30 meeting. But I did talk to Steve Mellon probably around 7:30 Friday morning, and got all the information and posted it on Facebook that he would not be collecting trash. So they will be collecting trash this Friday. They're not gonna get out anytime sooner, so they just said it doesn't matter how much trash you do have, you'll pick up everything and all your recycling.
Danielle, there is a birthday party booked for 2/21, 11 to 2 p.m.
Okay. So yeah, our taxes for 2022 have increased over 6,000. Like I said, there's down to 11 properties in pending foreclosure, so hopefully next week we'll receive some more.
When is the last date they can,
March 7th.
March 7th?
It's in her first comment, or the last comment in her first section there.
No, will be processed March 7th, okay.
Yeah.
So you have
Process.
until March 7th to pay.
Yeah,
Okay.
processed is one of those misnomers, really, because it's an automatic foreclosure. It just happens. We don't do any filings. We don't do anything. Except this office would then have to notify them that they no longer own the property and need to contact us. If there are any, hopefully there won't be any.
All right,
That's all I got.
okay, that's enough.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, folks, we just had the town clerk report. We've approved last week's meeting agenda. And this week's agenda is, you're going through it right now.
Yes.
We paid the bills.
Okay.
Writing the checks for the 14th and bills to be paid on the 21st. Nothing dramatic. There's no ads in the shopping guide, the CEO report. He gave us last month's report and he'll give us February's report the 1st of March. Sheriff's report, the same thing. We've had his January report, we'll have his February report the first week in March. Animal Control Officer. Nothing going on this week. Planning Board. The next meeting is on Wednesday, February 15th. Looks like tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Their main business is really administrative in nature, except a resignation letter, nominate an alternate, and elect a vice chair. And they're open to public questions. So. The Appeals Board, there's nothing going on. It needed to be appealed right now.
Can I just add that we are looking for appeals board members? If anybody's interested, please contact us.
As you know, some people know, we've had one person resign and one person unfortunately died. So we're trying to get up to the full complement of 5 members. The Comprehensive Committee, the next meeting is February 28th. Harvey's chugging along with that. I guess Harvey, you're about, what, 3/4 done?
Yeah, I would say about that, yeah.
Okay.
We're on the last stages. We may or may not have a meeting this month. We're still looking for information from the constituency here to figure out what we're going to do on the 28th.
Secaucus Road, I don't believe there's any.
No, they're as frustrated as we are, and still have not gotten word from CMP when the survey will be done.
They're probably more concerned because they're paying us the leasing fee every year.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we're making a little money. The Robinson Mill Review Purchase and Sale Agreement. We reviewed the last document. We're down to 2 exceptions, 2 questions, really, and a couple of typographical miscues. But other than that, I would expect that the purchase and sales could be signed next week. Stanley Building. Attorneys for Millworks LLC have taken over the case of the Stanley Building and Mr. Collins, mainly because they're the ones that are directly affected by the wording of the deed with easements and septic systems and that type of thing. So they felt they'd be in a better position to handle the legal matter, which means that the town will not be paying any more money to pursue the Stanley Building case.
Okay. We won't be paying a lot more money.
Well-
Inevitably, we'll be paying some.
For Stanley Building?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm sure there's going to be some back and forth between their
But we're not involved.
between the people that are taking it over and our attorney. I guarantee you.
Well, okay. We have a guarantee here, folks.
Well, if you want to guarantee we won't spend any more, that's fine too.
I'm not. I'll just say our expenditures are limited.
That's better. Thank you.
At 4:30, we're going to have Mark Fisher come in. He is the plowing contractor for the north section, who has had some difficulty this year, and he's coming in to talk about that and what he's doing to improve his service. He's going to be here at 4:30.
He's in the south, not the north.
Jesus.
I'm sorry.
No, I think I'd be smart to figure that out by now. South. But it seems north of them. Anyways. We have an invitation to attend the Cornish Town offices regarding charter communication contract renewal.
There's going to be a date change on that. The
Okay.
charter representative is not available that day. She's recommending either the 17th of April or the 24th of April. And we have not heard yet
Okay.
if either of those are acceptable or if it'll be one of those. So we'll let you know.
Southern Maine Planning, a new assistance policy. They've helped us with a few things. This comprehensive committee being a main one, but we do save money utilizing their purchasing power when it comes to the salt. Save about $6,000 or $7,000 a year, so. Looks like they're going to try and improve the services and develop some more services for us. For McDonald's. Have to talk about this. This is O'Donnell's budget request for 23-24 for Parsonsfield. This money's in our budget. We just want to review it and see exactly what they're charging us for and how much.
And you want to tell people what O'Donnell's do for us?
Oh, well, I thought I mentioned they did their tax assessing.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
Maybe I didn't.
Don't recall.
There are assessors, folks.
Yeah.
We've had a request from Kenny Burbank, our fire chief, about wanting to increase the insurance coverage on the fire department building. Those costs are shared by Porter and Parsonsfield. And I think he wants to go from $500,000 coverage to $1 million coverage. So that's in the works. Nothing on the road commissioner. We have submitted damages of about $200,000 from the storm, and we're waiting to hear back on how much of that will be approved. Selectmen's updates. Dave, do you have anything?
Yeah.
Other than,
First of all, the generator, I mentioned it earlier in the meeting, but I'll mention it again because they couldn't hook the generator up last Friday because of the way our service is. So CMP has to actually shut power off. The electricians can't. So we may be a day without power here. So please keep an eye on Facebook and the webpage, and if we have enough lead time, the shopping guide. We'll publicize it as best we can if we're going to be shut down for a day. Hopefully it'll be on a Friday, but we don't want to delay it too much further waiting for a Friday. So, and other than that, I guess that's it. Aside from Mark. Yeah.
we talked to our audio-visual vendor, the new vendor, today. He's going to complete the update and rework the numbers and the amount of equipment we need and give us that information by Friday or Thursday. So we'll know next Tuesday what the final system will cost, and we'll hopefully get some kind of installation date. Obviously, that depends on the availability of parts, which are questionable at this point, and the amount of lead time they need to schedule it. So at least the vendors are responding to us as opposed to the other one who ignored us. Spirit of America, we got 2 more names suggested. So we have about 4 or 5 now. So as we said, the next couple of weeks we'll get all the names together and have a little conference here with the selectmen and see who we can come up with. That's about it.
Watch yourself a little bit here. We had to do a temporary setup.
We're going to, well, we're a few minutes early. Mr. Fisher's going to be coming in to talk about the southern section.
Thank you.
Harvey's here. Harvey, you have any?
Well, I just want to mention one thing. Looking at the ad for the warming huts, hopefully once we have our generator up and running, we should be able to put ourselves out there as a warming hut for officers.
We may. We've talked to the other towns.
Yeah.
Porter had that many people when they were open. Cornish had that many people.
Well, I understand that, but I mean, it's just sort of like a little embarrassing.
Well, yeah, the thing is, if we say we're open, we have to have people here. And
We can figure that one out.
okay, I understand. So anyways, it's a consideration, yeah.
And we've looked at the thought, at least between David and I, was that it doesn't become an issue until the town loses power. You know, loses power and it's cold out, then the warming station becomes very, or an emergency shelter. So those things are in the works. After the generator, the next thing is to work on the kitchen to make sure that's adequate for what we think we'll need. And then we'll just go from there.
Yeah, we're working on some prices for outfitting the kitchen now, so we should have something in a week or 2.
Remember, this is not Lindsay's.
It's what?
This isn't Lindsay's or Krista's now.
We just a good dishwasher and a good freezer and some tables and whatnot. So we'll see what he comes up with.
Jeff, you got something? You haven't been here in a while, so you must have something. Yeah, I just want to thank, I believe Danielle for posting up town events website. Did you do that? Town events?
Oh, on the front page?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, that's, usually I always comment that.
Right, yeah, it was pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was good. And the Selectboard link is good too. It's easier to click on the Selectboard meetings, very good. You mentioned the state police. I noticed that the state police are in Parsonsfield more and all the other towns. They've expanded their
Yes.
coverage. So is it possible to get a state police report every month?
We can try.
I don't know.
I wouldn't count on it, but we can try.
Yeah.
Okay, you might have better luck than I did then.
Okay, no, I understand that.
Well, it's sort of like, I just use the term as a plumber comes in your house, doesn't work, hands you the bill, and you don't know what he did. He just hands you the bill. And we all pay taxes to the state, so we should know what they're doing,
We will certainly check on that.
Yeah.
Might take us, they'll get, not get back to us quickly, but we'll,
quicker than you can sell the mill for?
pardon? I hope it's quicker than that.
Okay. And the yellow post that was knocked down up
Yeah.
front,
In the works.
that protects the oil filter.
Just saw that. Okay, Wes, are you just
Yeah,
visiting, or?
I'm the vice president of Ancient Landmarks, and the president, Dee Fortin, she lived on Standish. She wanted to know if we still had use of the other half of the office and the road dimensions office on Sundays, starting the third Sunday in April through October.
Could you guys give us a little schedule of when you want to use it, and we'll make sure it's...
Okay, I'll speak to her.
Is it
Tell
the-
you we want to schedule it.
Is it the third Sunday every month?
Third Sunday.
Yeah, so that's it. There's a schedule.
It goes normally about 10 to 2 or something like that, depends on what's going on.
Yeah. The only issue we have now is that our code enforcement officer uses that office now, and we need to make sure that he doesn't have any private stuff or other things sitting around.
Yeah.
But well, I don't
Well,
see it.
he was on one side, we was on the other. Before, we had plenty of room on our side.
Right.
We just pushed everything over next to that wall. That's sort of give the road commissioner, if they had people in there where they had room enough to sit down.
Right. Yep.
No, everything was going good there, so. As you know, I've been in digging out cemeteries in the town. I've got, the town had about 168 of them. I've got close to 190. I found a lot of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know where they are. I got the GPS on them, and I got a map. I got the town on a big one, just the roads on it. And where there's a cemetery, I got a red dot on it, and a line out, there's a number there. You look in the book, and they'll tell you that cemetery, and I got the GPS coordinates on it.
Yes. Good.
So when I get it
So-
done, it's gonna be posted here in the town office somewhere, wherever the people want it.
You were talking about starting in March, is that right?
What's that?
You were talking about starting in March for the ancient landmarks?
No, April.
Oh, April. Okay.
April through October, I think. He
Okay.
said. She
Yeah.
called me the other day, wanted to know if I'd come up and speak to you. folks
Okay.
about it. I said, as far as I know it, then, I'll go and check with it, make sure we still got the room.
Yep.
Now, what about the things? I had a key to that outside door. Do I still have that, or do I have to get somebody to come unlock it now, or what?
Do you still have the key?
I still got the outside key, and I got the one to the road
Okay,
commissioner's
we haven't
office.
changed the lock.
Okay.
Now, I'll have to check on your security code, though.
Okay, well, as far as I know, I think I'm still good. I haven't.
Well-
The only place I've been's in the hospital.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's a question of whether it's still there.
Yeah, okay.
And background check.
Background check, okay.
Yeah.
What you want to know, what I've done in town?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've been,
I worked on
we've been
town.
talked to.
I plowed roads in this town for 20 years. Helped. I didn't own it, but
Only
I was-
20.
I helped, I tell you, a lot of it. Ugh. Yeah.
Scott, you got anything relevant, pertinent, informational?
Well, Mark's gonna be arriving tomorrow,
Mark's what?
arriving tomorrow.
Right.
And so, I guess there's just a couple of little things on that contract, as far as I know.
Yeah, the only thing that was negotiable, I guess, is the cost, the rental cost.
Yeah.
That was something that has to be resolved.
And then something about the insurance. Myself, I'd like to just, until we close, it's gotten so complicated, these
whether it's you guys asking yours, us asking our agents through Chalmers and whatever, and
That it?
the depth of questions that, okay, because you're not the owners yet,
I'll get hold
you
of
have
you, tell them we wanna-
it's back and forth, it gets,
We're going to do it, what?
I'd like, my suggestion is to leave the
that's fine.
insurance
That's
in the
Okay,
contract,
yeah, I need to
switch it
listen to
from
this.
Okay, thanks. We'll see you
due
later.
to May. We may get insurance. We're still studying it. But just to get the contract signed, my position is to just leave it as it is. We have our $2 million worth of coverage. The town has theirs. When we
Well, you still want to meet, you still want to look at the insurance next Tuesday, though? Yes, no? I mean, there was a meeting scheduled with
yeah.
the insurance people and you,
If
and
Mark wants to still go ahead with that, that's fine. It just seems like it's just getting too complicated for the contract.
Yeah, I agree.
If we could just leave it the way, and the lawyers would be thrilled with that too. It's just about you guys, the selectmen, saying to David Laurie, no, we're gonna just leave it as it is, the way it is, till they close, then the millworks can take it from there, we can insure different buildings, and we can have the proper standing.
Right, you can do whatever you
Right.
want, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
To get that off the final list of details
Yep.
to getting the contract signed.
Good.
Well, what else was there?
the amount of,
Oh, yeah.
the potential rent if you,
Mark will be in tomorrow, so you can deal with him on that. And I think it's a
we'll be suggesting to David, we thought that our initial 3,500 was too high. So we'll be suggesting 2,500 as a,
and Mark can go over that with you. To me, I think it doesn't really matter.
and it's
what you
only
put
as
down.
David mentioned, as an incentive for you
Yeah.
guys to
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
get going.
And I'm not worried about that issue because I'm an optimist. I want this closed before July 1st.
Yeah.
So the only thing that I see that we can't grasp right now is the schedule for the environmental stuff that they have to transfer liabilities from the town to us, and they won't do that without certain phase of inspection on the environmental. But we do have a commitment from Ransom for our first phase. I don't know if that contract is signed yet, but we're in contact, lawyers and ourselves, with Southern Maine for possible help with that, because they're quite expensive. So within the week, we'll have that resolved also. And that'll be all the terms that we're lacking from being able to sign. So next week, that's still the schedule.
Okay,
To
so
sign.
we need to let David know what our recommended changes are.
Right.
And he can communicate that to Laura.
I mean, he had good wording on the VRAP. You know, if we cause some problems, we'll fix it. If you cause some problems, you fix
That's
it.
another issue. It is not an issue. And why they,
It gets-
such degrees, they badger each other. We gotta split these two apart. It's not us,
Yeah,
it's the lawyers.
Yeah.
they're gonna make their money. All right, so we'll come in with 4 or 5 different pens, so we each can sign something for next week.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
So would you guys be okay to sign things here?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
why not?
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
Is that what we're shooting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That'd be great.
Mark, I'm sorry we're late. If you want
Oh, it's fine.
to come in,
Yep.
say hello.
Yep. Hi, no problem.
I explained, once I got your location right, Mark is the contractor in charge of the southern section, which involves probably most of the dirt roads in the town, and obviously paved roads. And he's been having some problems. And we've had some problems with a bus sort of sliding off the road and roads being impassable. Mark wrote a good memo trying to explain what happened. We can certainly listen to him now, and you can go over what you'd like to go over.
Yeah. Well, I owe you all an apology. I should have done better for the town. It's a challenge in the south part, but I take responsibility for what happened, and I want to say I'm up to the challenge. We'll do better. I'm sorry for what happened, and I talked to my guys. Comes down to communication and knowing what's going on. You know, a guy was at the bottom of Mountain Road, the bottom of the hill, trying to chain up. He was slid in the ditch, and I didn't know it. That ice is like a ticking time bomb, and I didn't know it was so bad. But next time, I want to know, right away. So, that's about it. I got the bus route. We got that down pat. I'm gonna be out there making sure. And if something does, I can call Missy and say, hey, stop the bus if things are really bad. But that should never need to happen. Thankfully, the ice is pretty much all melted off the roads, so, But that rain, that gets you, it's tricky because you think, it's 35 degrees or whatever, but it doesn't matter how warm it is when that rain hits that ice. It doesn't matter if you sent it the night before. It just turns into ice. So we're gonna try to be on it.
All right. I apologize. I'm hearing the same thing I heard 3 weeks ago, though. And frankly, if we had a better option, I would cancel your contract right now. We don't have a better option, so we have to go with you. So, we can't stress enough that you have to do better.
Right.
They had to delay 2 bus routes, and we can't have that. And they couldn't pick up trash, and
That's
we
right.
can't have that.
Now, the trash thing, though, I do have a request. The roads were sanded. Now, obviously, the bus situation, my first priority was to get that bus out of there and stay there until they were all good. And that didn't happen till about 7:10, Meanwhile, my guy, even with the chains, he had to back up Mountain Road, even with the chains. Okay, so having a third chain for the front wheel, yep. It's a ticking time bomb, and we should have been out there at 3. I'd be ready to, we want to probably renew the contract next year. My talk is cheap. I get that. If you take 10 grand off my pay, if this happens again, you can.
No, we can't, and we're not going to.
Yeah, but I'll give it back.
It's more or less just, I've been plowing, I don't plow roads, but I've been plowing for a long time, and you get, and any time where something's in question, you really don't sleep that much, and you're checking.
Right.
I don't have anything that's near as dire as what you do, but I have the health center and, a couple other things and a few dirt roads that, and we dealt with ice,
Yeah,
So you got to be up checking every couple hours. I've called Maya before and said, hey, Pendexter Road is a sheet of ice, and he's like, I literally sanded it this morning, and this is like 6 hours later on a rainy day. You know what I'm saying? And they just need a lot of attention. When there's ice on them and it's raining, I shouldn't say they need constant attention, but when the buses are going to be there, they literally need constant attention.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. We had run into this ice in the past on some roads like Hasty, Pratt Road, where in the morning I get a call and it's a sheet of ice. I'll go out and take care of it. But I never ran into it, on Mountain Road, Benson, before.
And it's possibly it didn't. So what probably happened was at some point it didn't get scraped quick enough, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? It might have got treaded down a little bit before you got it cleaned up, and so you got ice there. In the past, maybe you got it. before. So the wet storms we had, if people treaded over it a bunch, you can't scrape that up. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And it
exactly.
might have froze,
Yeah.
and that created your ice that maybe you didn't previously have other years because you might have cleaned it up before it got packed down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
it started the ice, and then once the ice is there, it's not good when it rains,
Yeah.
as you've found out.
What do you think about just putting some salt in that the night before?
That's it. It's not.
Or salt sand mix?
It's going to go right through the. So what happens is it's going to go right through the ice and it's going to ice right over anyways.
Right.
I don't know anyone that's ever. Wes could have probably told us better than anybody. I don't know anyone that thinks it's good practice to put salt on dirt roads.
Yeah.
You know?
Because, obviously the paved roads, prevention is the key to get
Right,
that.
and maybe a scraping after storms, maybe. And I know it's a dirt road, but maybe coming through and scraping. So a lot of times it warms up during the day after a snowstorm. If you don't go through and scrape it again, like say you're done plowing because it's done snowing and you're done plowing at 10, but it warms up through the day, and you could possibly go scrape it at 3. You know what I'm saying? It may,
Yeah, right.
That's a good idea to scrape it. You'll see a lot of guys out scraping everything 5-6 hours after the storm because they just want to get every little bit they can.
Right.
Because every little bit you leave adds, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah, to
over
that
time.
next layer. Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Do the buses have sandboxes in them?
no.
No? I need a few. Sandboxes behind the rear wheels?
No, they have automatic chains.
So they have drop chains, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they have drop chains.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Missy gave me the route, and we've got the south side. The buses go on the north route about half a mile dirt roads. So,
I'm sorry, they go what?
On the north plowing route, the buses are on Devereux Road for half a mile on a dirt road.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between the two as far as the buses travel mountain road the way from it changes into dirt road. They come up over the hill, and then another bus does Benson, and then Maple Crest. Those are 3 dirt roads. So it's not all that hard, but that hill on Mountain, that would be something that I would say if you can get money to pave it, that would really solve a lot of problems there. Because obviously when that gets icy, we have a problem ourselves with our trucks. That's what happened a month ago when there was the mail carrier broadside, and I couldn't get around them until the tow truck came to get them out of there. Mm-hmm. In the meantime, I was backing up. I was siding the hill. I was making it safe. And I didn't know the bus route. I didn't know that a bus was about ready to come on the top of the hill. Mm-hmm. So I was there dealing with the mail carrier earlier. And it comes down to communication, because they had gotten the roads mixed up in the morning. I'm pretty sure they meant Mountain Road and not Maplewood. When Missy told me that the bus had problems on Maplewood. Mm-hmm. And I went down Maplewood. I was like, how can this be? It's paid. It's good. It's fair. But I'm pretty sure she got her.
Yeah.
Now I know what the deal is. I know what's going on, so, yeah.
Okay. In terms of communication, I was speaking with Darren Sear this morning, and he says you have to notify dispatch if you got a truck blocking a road, or if you've got a truck off the road. That
A
should
plow
be
truck?
a plow truck.
Okay.
Or if you come across a
Okay.
mail truck that's
Yeah.
across the road. I
Notify
mean, they
dispatch.
should do the same thing.
Sure.
But you have to notify dispatch
Okay,
so
okay.
they can get somebody
Right.
out there and
Right.
stop the bus at the
Yeah.
bottom of Mountain Road. you know?
Yeah, and that's a good point there. But, so yeah, mail carrier and anything. My guy had previously, a couple of weeks ago, the driver had the same driver that was there. He was going down Mountain Road and a car cut him off in the middle of the road, and he had to ditch it. I said, and he got stuck. So I said, right thing to do, ditch it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Rather hit the car. Right thing to do.
No.
Yes.
All the drivers have cell phones and everything, right? All your drivers have cell phones. and-
Yeah. Later on that day, he just, he was a little shook up, and he got off into the ditch. And I was like, what, you're stuck again? That was sort of the wrong thing for me to say because
Sure.
I want to know if they're stuck. I can go do something about it, you know?
You have to do, I
Yeah.
mean, first of all, it's the
Yeah.
law.
Right,
If
right.
there's an accident, you gotta notify
Yeah.
the authorities. Second of all, it means they can do something about it. And if the fire department or rescue needs to be called, they can
Right,
notify them.
right.
So you need to call
Yeah.
dispatch. That's an absolute.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah,
Appreciate
good.
it.
So yeah, if there's anything else, I've got the rundown. But like I said, I apologize, and we should be good. We know.
Okay.
I don't mind the call. I mean, it's the kind of thing that wears you out. Like even last night, and it was going to snow a little bit. Especially from what just happened. I'm kind of like waking up, looking out the window and stuff.
Shell shock.
And yeah, but it's part of it. But at the same time, back to Melon. So, can he let me know if there's ice on the roads? Because he should have picked the trash up. That's kind of what I don't think was fair to the town and to me.
So what happened was he went out on Thursday. Wait, no. When does he pick up trash?
Friday morning.
Yeah, he went out on Thursday afternoon and drove around, and that's when he made a decision not to go. So possibly it was before you sanded. You may have sanded on Thursday night, you said?
Some, yeah, and then Friday.
Well, so he went out Thursday night and made the decision to not put his trucks on the road from what he saw Thursday night. I'm nearly certain of that.
I talked to him 7:30 Friday morning, and he had just gotten back from checking the roads, and there was no way he was going out.
Right.
See, that's where I feel he picked the south part and said, well, I'm not going to pick up trash. And that doesn't make you or me look bad. I mean, obviously, maybe we deserved it that morning, but the roads were great. We had them all, it was a delay in sanding, but we didn't even see his trash trucks down there at all, anywhere.
Well, like I said, he went out and he goes out and checks before he puts his trucks on the road.
But on the paved road, he picked up on the paved roads, right?
Yeah, he picked up on the paved
Yeah.
roads.
Okay, yeah.
So what I'm saying is he hadn't even gotten to the paved roads yet, and the roads were sanded. So we didn't see any garbage trucks. We didn't see any trash picked up. So I feel that wasn't fair to me or to anybody, because I got a call at around noon saying, why didn't you sand the roads? I said, well, we did. He said, well, you must have not sanded well enough because they're not picking up trash. I said, can you check that road for me? No, I'm at work. I'm like, okay. So, and then what I discovered is I think his Facebook message went out at 4:55 a.m. that he wasn't gonna pick up trash on the dirt roads in the south side. So instead, I think he ought to be, especially that other morning, like if he knew the roads were icy, I mean, I should know obviously too, but if anybody knows that there's a problem somewhere, I'd love to know. Because if he could have called me, sent me a text message at 4:55 in the morning, that would have saved the day. I did not.
I agree, but don't put it on Steve, okay? This is a plowing and sanding issue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the roads were great. And I told my guys, put extra sand on, the garbage trucks are going today, and that's what was not fair for him to pick the south side and say, I'm not gonna pick up trash on any of the south roads,
But he didn't say, it was only the dirt roads. He picked up.
on any of the south dirt roads, right?
Yeah, okay.
No, well, I don't know when Maya treated him or what he did, but I live at the end near both Devereaux and Pendexter, and both of them were fine. There was no issues whatsoever. I don't know what they do to Pendexter, but they've got it. There's less ice this year than ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've done. But
As of Friday afternoon, so we had a warm day. Everything was about melted off. I made a round again. I sanded Hasty Road again. That was about the only thing that still needed. By the end of the day on Friday, Hasty Road, some places looked like it was never sanded. So But I guess you get my point. I feel that we're being unfairly targeted for, well, the roads aren't sanded and it's.
Well, he probably had a little shell shock,
Yeah.
maybe. I don't know when he called off in the
Right.
trash or whatever, but when the buses went off the road, he probably's like, I'm not
Right.
going over there, is
Yeah.
my guess.
Yeah, well, I suppose we probably, I understand that. Yeah.
What road did you said Mountain Road should was
Mountain
paved?
Road
Good
should
to
get
pave it?
paved, yeah. There's a steep hill there and it's dirt.
Jesse, how big an area is he talking about?
Oh, it's not huge. And the reason it's an issue is you're talking about the one that's kind of like north slope,
Yeah.
right? Correct?
Yeah.
The one towards Taylor City.
Right.
So the sun doesn't hit it.
No, actually, the steepest part of the hill is the other side. That one is typically the worst for some reason. That would be more like east,
Huh.
facing east.
Yeah, I don't know why that.
So there's
Yeah.
that little house on the left, like a little red
Yeah, I
cabin.
know.
Yeah, I know what you're
So it
talking
was paved from that house to the top of the hill on the east, on this side, the east side. The other side isn't as steep, and the other side isn't even as icy.
Is that something you can talk to Myra about, see if it's practical?
Yeah,
We can look at it.
He did that a
yeah.
lot in the last couple of years for washouts and, keeping the roads in one piece. Thank you, Mark.
Yep, you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
And just one other side note, it's probably about time to close Hasty Road because it's getting rather.
yeah, and I would say this
This is gonna be
Hasty Road is going to be
We
muddy.
already had.
I thought Myra had closed.
No, that was Keys Mountain Road because it washed
Oh, I
out.
thought.
No, not Hasty. They were both up for discussion,
Yeah,
and we were discussing closing them
right.
permanently in
Right.
the wintertime.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we decided we couldn't, and then
Right.
immediately after that, Keys Mountain Road completely washed out. So we decided to close Keys Mountain Road, but nothing
I thought he
about
also
nothing about
wanted
Hasty.
to do
Okay, I think we want to let him know to close Hasty Road.
Yeah,
Or we can't really.
No, for the mud season, you
yeah.
certainly can.
We do it every year for
Yeah,
months.
we do it every
right,
year,
right.
yes.
Yeah, and stop plowing it in
Yeah.
case it gets like
That'd be
wicked.
different than
Closing
like
most of it.
Friday.
winter, yeah.
We're getting this rain. I think once we get that rain, it's gonna be
50 on Thursday.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
gonna be
mud
right
season's
pretty
kind of
bad.
scary with the lack of real cold weather.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
All right,
You guys.
thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, folks. That's it. Thank you very much for listening. It was a little different today. Spirited conversation. And we'll see you next week.